Yo, what's up, guys? Shizo here with Krisleshizle today. You probably know him from Sky Arena. He also plays Chronicles for the last, I don't know how long already. Well, pretty much since day one, right?
Yeah, I started in EU.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, honestly, I did start NA, but I did like Act 1 and 2, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this again on EU. I'll just wait until it comes out.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. So yeah, as quite a decent experience in that. So today, kind of a slightly different video. It's going to be about things that we would like to see changed in the game, maybe added to the game. Both of us made a list. We didn't talk about it yet with each other of what kind of things we would like to see changed. And then that way we can kind of just see where it goes from there and just get going, I guess.
All right, all right. Should I put the first item? Because I know, guaranteed, you must have this one on your list.
Okay, let's go for yours first.
The chat system.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, it's so horrible. I just don't use it.
Well, they actually made it better that if I write something right now, it actually pops up here in the bottom. And since recent patch, you can actually turn off the role chat. That's already quite a bit of an improvement. But it's still somewhat... Like, to be honest, I can barely read these names. Like, can you read them? It's...
No, the
it's
color
so
combinations. Also, like the size and like... but what bothers me the most, if you're in like a dungeon team, and you see like 40 times join this dungeon channel or whatever it's written, I don't remember exactly, something with dungeon.
Yeah,
even if I write, even if I write something, and you open the chat, you still see like 20 times like join the dungeon channel, join the dungeon channel. Like
yeah, I can't show it right now, but I know exactly what you mean. And even if you write something new, then it doesn't pop up at the bottom. No, it starts at the bottom after all of those joined the dungeon nonsense.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had a step in the good direction with at least removing the role chat, because it's pretty much useless. Would be very nice if they have the thing of like, oh, someone popped or like powered up some kind of weapon. To be honest, sorry, I don't care. Like, it happens so often in an active server, you're not gonna be checking all of those. Like, if you actively want to check those, you can turn it on, but I don't need to see that all the like this kind of nonsense. And it's also so fast, you barely see whatever was the message.
But I can understand that they do that for like plus 15 on like newer weapons or off weapons. It doesn't matter. Like, but we're seeing this on plus 10, plus 11, plus 12. Why?
Yeah, you literally see this guy going from 10 to 11 to 12. Like, we get it. Just show it at 12, right? It's fine.
Yeah, or just only show 15s or something to not flood it.
Well, yeah, you're not really going to plus 15 these kind of weapons, but yeah, I would say plus 12s on like 6-star plus and that kind of stuff. Or at least maybe set your own threshold to certain things.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, they really need to rework it. Like, honestly, I really like the old World of Warcraft chats. It was simple, it was obvious, and
it was also a lot more customizable. You could say like, oh, I'd rather have the chat bottom left or bottom right or at the top or something like that.
I think they have it like this because they use like the same lineup for your mobile screens, right? So there's probably something behind it. Sense. I'm just guessing, but
yeah.
But at least like make just the color combinations and how it looks like and those spam messages, if those are out, that would be already such a big upgrade.
I kind of understand the color choosing because the color choices, because the choice here for what I see for Zapdos right now is very clear, readable, but it should be a different color in here because they took the exact same color on different backgrounds and then suddenly it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely a good point. So that is first of the list.
You had it on your list as well, right?
Yeah, definitely. I actually wrote it on the list prior to like the recent patch we had with some of the changes to it already, like mainly removing this one. But still, it's a step in the right direction, but we would like to see more on that.
Exactly.
Okay, one from my list. One that is something related to monsters. And I would like to see the base stats of units. Because currently you don't really know, even if the unit is unruined. Let's see, do I have an unruined unit here? You still have to guess, like to minus these stats to see what the base stats of a unit is.
Yeah, true.
And because of that, I would also like to see from the monster book, like in Sky Arena, you don't really see the multipliers. But in Sky Arena, at least you see the base stat of the unit over here. So you can be determining based on a base stat of a unit whether it has a good base stat distribution, or you should focus more on HP or defense in certain tank units or anything like that.
Yeah.
And that's just something that I'm really missing. And since that is a short one, I just add my second one to monsters as well right away, which is I would like to see more skill animation or more skill information about radius of skills. For example, we have a skill over here that is an AoE, but how big is the AoE? Because we have certain skills that have smaller AoEs, certain skills that have bigger AoEs, and showing the radius of certain skills, or maybe a skill is shot in a certain cone, that we also see with some skills, like for example Orbia S2. Those kind of AoEs, I would like to see what's the radius on those kind of things.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was actually missing the base stats.
Yeah, base stats is a really big factor because, yeah, to be honest, you just have no idea. You only know about the skills, and you can kind of subtract the stats that you have over here, or wait, the ones that you see over here, minus that if they're unruned, but it's nice to see right away without even owning a unit.
Yeah. Or like just a detailed view where you can see like what's base stats, what's like account stats, and what's rune stats.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely would be nice, yeah. Or just see it here in the book as the first place, that would also be very nice. Okay.
Yeah, but then you get the problem that you might not be level 70, right? So you want to see the base stats of the level that you are in.
Yeah, true. Maybe in Sky Arena they show, if you check the unit from like the book overview, maybe you should just always show like, okay, at level 70 it would, because 9 out of 10 if you use the unit is level 70. And the issue what you do have is that Awakening changes base stats. So that part is actually like, which Awakening do you have? Maybe you could have a tab of saying like, okay, 9 Awakening is this base stat and 15 Awakening is this base stat. So those are the two. Like, it's either non-awakened at all or fully awakened kind of style.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
That would be nice. Yeah, sure.
Okay, then on for your next point.
Okay, this is for a frustration for me. I know a bit of a less frustration for you because you got a dark weapon. But this pity system for weapons, I mean, it's there, but they could do it a bit better, I guess, because like,
And
I
then
think from Seal, I've only gotten like water and wind weapons, and last time I fed 2 water into and 1 wind, and I got another water.
Yep. Well, I can actually tell you better. I do have a dark weapon, but I did about 18 buys on Seal, and I never got a dark Seal weapon as well.
But exactly, I have the same problem, but I still have a 5/5 weapon from dark, because I just don't get the dark ones. I have the other ones right now, but even like if you feed like 3 Seal weapons, then you can still get like another like a Naraka weapon or anything, right?
That's what happened to me. I fed 2 Seal weapons and a Naraka weapon, and I got Naraka Dark. So yeah, it would be nice if they have some kind of thing in the shop. Like for example, in Sky Arena we have that with the Ifrits. So if you pulled 5 Ifrits from the shop, then you get 1 as a choice. So maybe not at 5, but do it at 10 or 15. So the moment you got like an achievement, we got 10 weapons buy from a specific thing, then we get a weapon box, and from the weapon box we can just choose which one we get. Whether that is the highest tier or some lower tiers, to be honest, I don't really mind if it's one of the lower tiers, but it would be nice that you're constantly checking that 20% check. And a 20% check, you could do it like 80 times and still not land it, technically. It would be nice if they have some kind of pity in it at some point. It's like, okay, you got your 15th weapon, now you can just choose a weapon.
Yeah, just do like the lowest tier. That's perfectly fine, because then it will still take us stuff to build it. That's perfectly fine, but it's just... I mean, I like there's a pity system, but on the same side, it's kind of almost useless.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like the combining is kind of resetting just another RNG factor, because it actually adds more RNG. It could be one of the other weapons, and it could be still the wrong element.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree. That's actually one that I didn't write down. But I have something that I actually said for pity systems about upgrades. So if your point is finished, I will transition into that one.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so my pity system for upgrades is one of my annoying points. If you want to make these things to higher grade, mostly towards 12, I wouldn't really recommend to go higher than 12. This at some point has, let's see if I actually have a weapon that isn't fully destroyed. Do I have one that's slightly upgraded, not fully destroyed? No, it doesn't seem that way. But at some point you get this towards like 10% or 15%. I've seen it happening for me. I've seen it happening for other people that I needed to do a 10% try. Technically 10 times you're in range, right? I've seen me doing this 50 times to get like a 2% check at some point. And it gets very costly on the materials. While Skystones, it's very costly. These things is very costly, but these things especially, it gets very costly for keeping the restoring the durability and that kind of stuff. And I would just like to see that every time that you fail it, the success rate goes up by a certain percent, like half a percent. I don't care, like, but slightly up the percentage rate for every fail that you did. And then the moment you go to the next level, it resets back to 0.
Yeah, I like that one. That's a really nice one.
And by all means, I would like that one. And then they can even lower this number to half of what it is right now. Because I think if you get very unlucky, you still end up with the same rate or even better. But if you get very lucky, then it's slightly worse for you. But if you get very unlucky, at least you don't have to do it like time and time again. At some point, you would just get a certain rate. It's like, okay, I did it so many times, it's a 30 check right now. Okay, I did it so many times, it's a 40 check right now. At some point, you're gonna hit that one rather than keeping trying the 10% or even less. And that also makes it possible for people to try to aim for that plus 15, because currently plus 15, hell no, no one's going to do that. It's way too expensive.
It's not even doable. Like, I'm still upgrading my 4th weapon at the moment.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just not worthy to do it. Like, if you get very lucky, you might go in one try from 12 to 13. But besides that, you don't really see anything higher than 13, or a very lucky guy that had a 14 or something. Like, I have 2 13s here that were just like lucky checks. But in most cases, you're not gonna get any higher than this.
Yeah, so maybe like if you fail, then the success rate goes up by 0.5%, and the what's the name called again? The durability reduction chance goes down by 0.5%.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, something like that. So you up the rate of success, but also reduce the rate of this one failing. That would be nice, definitely.
And then in that, if you level up, you reset again.
Yeah.
And maybe also to add to that, then maybe like reduce the restoration stones, whatever it's called.
Yeah, these stones, maybe, these are pretty hard to come by. But if you already up the rates for failing, I think it's at some point fine that these are still hard to come by.
Yeah, that's all right. But maybe they could, if you really want to have it like from a player perspective, you want to have it really nice. Like the first time it cost 20 on a 6-2 weapon, right? So
yeah,
if you restored it, then the next time it costs 19 and then 18, So
yeah, exactly. That it goes down in that sense. That kind of makes sense as well. Yeah.
Then you already need to get super unlucky to get to 15 even.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that is my pity system for weapons that I would like to see. So then on to a next point of view.
This is actually a short one. Please give us repeat quick battles.
Repeats quick battles. So you mean the repeat quests, or
no, like you do the quick battle tickets. I love it. Like you can like in dungeons you can
yeah, I know what you mean.
But you need to click it one by one.
Yeah. At some point I noticed that it gets bugged, because if you do a quick battle right now, if I start, well, I don't have any tickets at the moment, but if we click on the quick battle, let me see, I'll just use one entry, it doesn't matter. If we click this quick battle right now, it will just show like the 2 swords, and then it goes into the rewards. At some point I did about 600 of them in a row. You kind of bug out the system where you don't see the swords anymore. I'm not sure if that's...
I had the same.
Yeah.
You remember I sent you a print screen of like the Korean error, right?
Yeah.
After I had that error and I translated it, it was actually like my storage is full.
Okay.
And I went back into quick battles. I just could click it every time and it just completed it.
Yeah, so Yeah, it's very nice to have this thing, but it doesn't make any sense for us to have to click it like 200 times.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally agree.
It's just a very easy one, right? Because we already have the repeat battles, we have the quick battles, and
Yeah.
combine the both of them. It'd
Yeah.
be really nice to have.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Okay, then one for me, and that is arena related. And arena related mainly on the ranking system. And the ranking system, how it currently works is that you go from certain threshold of rank, so 3.6k, 4.6k, no matter what like rank you are, it's just those thresholds first and then you have the rank. But here you can see 6k and then 100 people. Well, if we check currently in a pretty active server, we have about, well, 10 people that are over 6k. That is not even close to 100. And if we scroll all the way down to 100, we're looking at people that are 1.3k points away from that. So I think those thresholds are too hard, and that's actually the end of the season. So technically people can already get 6k around the second week, but I think it should be more about just being higher points than someone else rather than hitting a certain threshold.
Yeah.
And
maybe just fine-tune those thresholds, right?
Yeah, exactly, because those thresholds are just too harsh and also too big of a gap. Like a gap of like 1k or a gap of 1.4k. That's a really big steep gap. I like more of those gaps of like 400, maybe like 800 or something like that. But 1k plus gaps, those are pretty huge, I would say.
Yeah, and then they also will stop at 6k.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's fine to keep going until the top rankings.
Yeah, exactly. So in the end, like by all means, this can still be 6k. I don't mind it, but I would say, okay, make this 5.5, this 5, and so forth.
Yeah, maybe a bit smaller steps, but like 200 or 300. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's mine for arena. Also a very short point.
Then I have another short point. Oh, maybe short. Secret dungeons. Like, you almost can't get them.
True, no one does them because you have to use repeat tickets to get those, and people don't want to use to.
Yeah, so you need either repeat tickets or you need to use a 2A shop, right?
Yeah.
But everybody is using them for upgrades. So, like, I missed out on Shushu. I have 16 pieces at the moment. It's impossible to find one.
Yeah, definitely true. Like, no one is doing this stuff anymore because, well, technically the only thing that's useful from here is Shushu. So it's a 1 out of 6 chance that you get Shushu, and people are not really willing to take that chance to get Shushu. So maybe they should rework where you get these things from, because the simplest thing is if you rework them into something you get anyway. Let's say just the dailies, for example, you get daily 5. At some point, people are going to have them, people are going to open them. But currently, it's all behind certain rewards or certain things you have to do, which you rather spend elsewhere.
Yeah, only the storyline. That's why a lot of people at the beginning were using them.
Yeah, very true.
Like in the beginning, everything was new for me, so I had so many things that I was doing. I didn't even realize I should have done that like in the first week.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I kind of missed out on it, and by now, yeah, I'm not gonna use my TOA tokens on it, right? And I'm not gonna use my repeats on it because that's just a huge waste.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree.
But maybe just add it to the events. Like just add 10 of them to the world boss, and like if you get a higher ranking, you get 25 or something. Like just make them obtainable, even in small numbers.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Totally a very valid one. So now I have one that is battlefield related, but those are 4 points combined. So I think if you have points that are battlefield related, I think we just combine them that way. I currently cannot go into Battlefield. Oh, we actually have the old Battlefield back. I wrote down those points before that, but I think they count for both Battlefields, to be honest. And the first one is, I would like to see a death recap when you die. Especially for newer players, you die by something and you're like, apparently I was 0 HP, but I thought I had something of a passive that should survive something. A segment E is very hard to spot. A Thessarian Q flying you can kind of see, but you also don't really see. An Athma just walking to your face, which you didn't really notice because it was a pile of stuff and you died by that. there's a lot of things that you would like to see what you died from, and then maybe also like a death recap you have in most games, like, oh, you were stunt locked for X amount of time, these and these and these units did X amount of damage on you, this was the final killing blow, something along the line of that.
Yeah, I missed that as well.
And then, oh, that's actually one that was more towards Arena, so I'll save that one for later. The scores of battlefields. I would like to see it with Battlefield, like how did I perform in the last few battlefields, for example. Currently, it's just like, okay, I can see it at the end of the match, but I don't have like a match history or anything that I can say like, okay, I can check like previous season, but that doesn't really show me like what matches did I have, or maybe I want to share like a good match to a guild or something like that, a guildie, or take a screenshot of it, or anything like that. Would be nice to see. Maybe also more information about, rather than how many points did I score, maybe also about how much damage did I do, how much recovery was there, so, some more information like these things.
Maybe a bit like League of Legends style, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
I don't play
So
League of Legends myself, but I see those overviews everywhere on Instagram. But it's like, or like Valorant does it as well.
Yeah.
Like you can see like a full history.
Yeah, exactly. And just pretty much everything number related, like how much mining did you do, how much flags did you capture, how many points did you get for what kind of things did you do, how much damage on monsters, how much damage on summoners, how much healing. There's a lot of information that you could provide that way. Sure, we don't need all of that, but something more than what we have right now is already very nice.
And add that like also to raids and guild raids and stuff.
Yeah.
Because then you can actually see. Also, you can check on your guild members, because now the only way to check if they did damage or not, but if they have a support role, their healing will be high, so you can at least see, okay.
Or how many buffs did they provide?
Yeah, like this member was like a support type. He did a lot of healing but low damage. It's fine.
Yeah.
But if he did both of them on the low side, yeah, you maybe you want to kick him.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can kind of see it for raids. They actually added something that you could see what kind of damage everyone did. So you can also see like which Argon did more damage, for example. For raid, they kind of added it. But for guild raid, it would definitely be very nice as well, yeah. Yeah, very true. And then I have one more that is Battlefield related, and that is assists. So currently we have to get these rankings up towards killing things. But therefore, you also see a lot of people are just trying to snipe kills rather than work together to get a kill.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of kill stealing. There's getting assists feels rather bad than anything good, whereas you take an enemy down, it should feel good. So it would be nice if an assist counts for like half a takedown or a quarter of a takedown. So at least you start adding up, getting some higher ranking based off that as well, rather than just headbutting a lot of assists, not getting anything towards your higher ranking in this.
Yeah. I actually had one of those matches last week where I had like 16 assists and 4 kills.
Yeah, exactly like that. So
I was like,
yeah, so it would be nice if that still counts towards like, let's say 8 takedowns or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all that I have for Battlefield. So maybe you have some for Battlefield that you would like to add?
I mean, maybe just one thing to add, which I had, like the notices. Like if I'm out of arena wings, if I'm out of battleground wings, don't give me a notice that it's there and on the like the bottom left that battlegrounds are open. I can't do it anyways. I don't have wings, so just don't flash it into my eyes. Like it's...
yeah, that's kind of the point. Yeah, good point, definitely.
Like if I have wings, okay, just show me.
But yeah, exactly.
If you did Brawl in the morning, I don't need to get like 3 more reminders throughout the day that Brawl is open. And
yeah, very true, very true. So let's go for one more of your points.
Actually, the next point that I had is more of a reward thing, and that's achievement rewards. I just think they're horrible. Like this. Like...
Yeah, you get this all the... Well, there's actually a few hidden in there which are actually good. Well, this one I wouldn't necessarily classify as good. But there's a few hidden in there, but most of the time you get these things that are like unlimited rewards where you get like these kind of things that are garbage. But you have a few in there like these two that are good, or these kind of things that are good. But yeah, there's a lot of them that... Wait, was there also something for, I think, upgrading runes? And I kept getting like 3-star runes or some nonsense from this.
But like this, like just one you showed on, it's fishing as well. You need to do what? You need to catch 15,000 fish, and as a reward, you get 7.5k gold.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like some of these rewards are kind of lackluster or non-fitting. Like a lot of these kind of things, they make sense. They're hard to come by. It will take you a while.
Yeah.
Actually, if you get this, you can still get a rune from this apparently. But yeah, there's also a whole bunch of these rewards where you say like, okay, yeah, use potions for 4,000 times for 4.5k gold.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like check in 180 days, you get a mystical.
Yeah. Or yeah, you use arena coins for another 3-star piece. It's not even a full unit. It's some of these rewards just don't make enough sense now.
Like it's not worth to try and get them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally agree. Oh, yeah, these are also good. Main weapon to plus 15 for this. Like if you do this, if you do this on a 6-2, you're gonna lose a lot more than you gain from these. Trust me on that one.
Yeah.
Same for these.
Yeah.
There's no way, man. Yeah, like very valid point.
Not comparable to what you have to do to get them. Like, and
yeah,
the result is you don't look at them. You don't want to get them. You just they're just this annoying flashing thing that you sometimes have to collect because your OCD is triggering.
Yeah, it's just like, I have to collect all of them, and then might as well, instead of claim one from a specific one, have a button of claim all from all 6 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, a very valid point. Then I have another one that was actually towards Arena. We kind of hovered over Arena already, but that is turn off the auto button when you go into an Arena battle. Why do, like, currently it's kind of like synced into my brain because I did a lot of Arena already, but why do I, every time the first thing I go into Arena is click, I have it on tab. Why do I always have to click tab? And if I forget it, my unit starts spamming skills left, right, center, and I'm like, wait, did I thought I had mana. Oh, I had tab on. That's why I lost. Yeah. Amazing.
And not only Arena, also give the option for dungeons. For example, last week I was doing the new dungeons, the hard ones on Cleave to level up to level 70. But if I did it on auto, like it would just waste skills and it would make it a lot harder. So every time I had to to stop it, and then
exactly, it's kind of annoying to do it. And what we talked about earlier about more statistics and also battle history, it would be nice if I can click on this battle history and then still see whatever happened in that battle history or something like that.
Yeah, or also be able to see the stats
of
the person who hit you and what are, because you can see it if you hit somebody, you can see the stats of the opponent.
True.
But if they hit you, you don't see anything.
Oh, we might as well go into another point that I totally grinds my gear. We can see it on the screen right now. I didn't write it down. But what is the deal with +1 -20?
Yeah.
I know it's some kind of anti-boosting system. That makes sense to a certain point, but the moment I got hit or I get 10 defense successes within 24 hours, which is somewhat likely on an active server like EU Libli, why do I get +1 and -20 is just because I'm like the Grandmaster rank, and if this would be lower, or if I would be lower rank, it also would be lower, and this would be higher, for example. So these numbers are just relative to the rank I have and the rank they have. But getting +1s all the time doesn't make all too much sense for me.
Yeah.
That's just, they would have to lower those threshold based on how many players are in the server or anything like that.
Yeah, they can even make it like, because in Summoners War, if you hit somebody a couple times and you lose every time, you get less points, right? And it's a bit harder here to constantly hit the same person. But maybe just do it on a day basis. Like if I hit you in the morning and I lose to you again in the evening, then you get less points for it.
Yeah, for example, so we have, I think this person lost to me 3 times. I'm not really sure what he was doing, but sure thing. But let's say that the first time it would be a +6, and then the next time he would be a +3, and then a +1 or something like that.
But here it's also very interesting, right? +1, you lose -20, and then you get +6.
Yeah, that's the time reset where I didn't have 10 defense successes within 24 hours.
Because if you go up a bit, there's the same guy hit you again.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter who hits me, it just matters that in a time window of 24 hours, I already got 10 times a +6. And then until those 24 hours are like finished, I will get +1s. And yeah, it just works like that. It's kind of weird. Okay, that's pretty much for my point in Arena. How many more points do you have?
I still have like 5 each.
Okay, yeah, I've pretty much just one, and it's all Brawl related, but it's like more combined than just one.
Let's get into those first, because the rest of mine are mostly quality of life.
Okay, good. So yeah, for Brawl, things that we already mentioned before, I would like to see more match history. Definitely more match history, but also here I cannot see what I picked. I cannot see what was banned. I cannot see what was banned on my side. I would like to see 5 against 5 and then like the crossed out things or whatever that I can click on, that I can at least see the full draft rather than just seeing the 3 units I played. Well, on top of that, I would like to see more of the stats, who did what damage, that kind of stuff would be very nice. Maybe even have replays, be able to share it to your guildies and that kind of stuff. Because I had a very nice replay on this. He actually had, I think, Orbia full HP, Shushu on 20% HP. I had Orbia Fire and I was 10% HP and still had passive up. And I managed to win that. So, and I won it with 1% HP left. So that was a really fun one to actually share. Because his Orbia was like full HP, my Orbia already popped the shield, and I still managed to drain his full Orbia HP, get through his passives, while not dying myself while he was in mid. I think he kind of misplayed it, but then again, those are nice matches to replay, and that also, if people are more attracted towards Brawl, also more people are going to play Brawl, because they see it more often, and they can see the fun in it, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and also add like the 5 monsters to rankings, because you can only see what was used a lot of time.
Yeah, this as well, like see the 5 units and then maybe cross out whatever was banned or anything like that, totally.
Yeah.
And then one of the biggest issues with Brawl for me personally right now is the ×2 from the Battle Pass. And the ×2 from the Battle Pass makes it that people only play 5 Brawl matches a day, and technically it's not really worth them to play more than 5 Brawl matches. So I'm not sure if you did that much Brawl yet. But
yeah, but I've been slacking a bit on the lower.
Yeah, the point difference is just yeah, the point difference is just so huge. So these are, for example, all matches that I played with the +2. So all of them, the point gain and win is pretty much even equal if I lose to someone lower than me and win to someone lower than me. But if I do it outside of that, we're looking at this kind of stuff: +6s, -19s, +8s, +9s. It's almost not even worth it to play anything out of those 5 matches, and then you just have to hope for a good winning streak on those 5 to get like those things of +34. But it's also very dependent then during your first 5 matches, do I play against someone higher than me? Because if you play against someone way higher than you, you legitimately lose like 4 or 5 points, but you can gain 34 if you get a lucky win or anything like that. So personally, I would like to see this completely removed, and therefore it also becomes more interesting to actually play 10 matches a day or 15 matches a day or anything like that.
I just don't think it should apply to the rankings. It should only apply to the rewards.
Yeah.
So like the points that you get, just
give
those ×2, but not the points. Like
yeah,
points.
totally agree. It should apply for the things that you can buy in the shop, and it should not apply to the ranking points. I totally agree, 100%. Yeah, and that's pretty much all I have to towards Brawl.
Okay. I have a couple points then. Let me go through them.
Sure thing.
One small point that I have, it's a bit annoying. Like everybody does the master quest and the professions. Just let us hand in like partial parts. Like here, you have 6. Just hand those 6 in and make it 620.
Yeah.
You have to wait until you have 20, and especially when you get to master, where it gets a lot harder. And like the food, you need to make 80 of them. Like, just let us do partial hand-ins.
Yeah, I actually ate one of the food at some point by accident while clicking on it, that kind of stuff, because I couldn't hand in the full stack. So yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. So that one, and the next one I have is when you do rune combinations. Actually, I love this feature.
Yep.
But after you've done it, and you get a nice rune, like the only option you get now, if you combine it, is to disassemble them. But if I get a nice rune, just let me quick upgrade it.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, you can currently lock it from here, but that's also one that I would like to add. If let's say I combine something, and I press OK, and I was like, ooh, actually was good. I cannot lock it from here. Like, I would like to lock it from here as well, because now I have to go out of the menu, or I might like accidentally use it.
Like what I now do is like I upgrade the runes that I want to keep. I upgrade into +1. Maybe I want to roll them later. Like I want to keep them for now. I upgrade them to +1.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna feed them in the end. And if I get a nice rune here, then you also always have like a couple with a new symbol, right? So you always have to be careful on what you're going to disassemble. So I think it would be nice here if you can just like if you have like a quick button, like a quick +3 or +6, +9, whatever. If you combine it, like you can disassemble it, you can upgrade it directly. Because if you get something nice, you want to upgrade it directly as well, right?
Yeah. Plus, it actually helps you a lot as well, because if I combine something right now, it might be good if it rolls in one specific slot. I can quickly check if like, okay, the +3, does it go in the HP percent? If not, I still combine it later.
Exactly.
So those kind of things, definitely, that's a very nice one, yeah.
The next point I have is about rankings. I mean, they like monster rankings is fine, but like summoner rankings, it's feel like it's kind of
it's bugged 9 out of 10
it's
as well.
bugged to begin with, right?
Yeah.
And the second point is like cleave, they get so much more stats from HP. So all the top rankings, they are cleaves by default, but there's going to be so many Kinas or Orbiats which are going to be in better power, but they're just not based on HP, so they're lower. So maybe just split the rankings up into the class that you play, like top 20 for cleave, top 20 for Orbiat, top 20 for Kina.
Yeah, that would be very nice.
And fix the bugged points, because there's just so many issues with the rankings. Like if you use a lot of like we had the issue a couple of weeks ago, I think we both climbed to
I'm pretty
rank
sure
1 and 2.
Yeah, I think it's your weapons counting double the moment you unequip and equip gems or something. I think it is something along the lines with that.
Yeah, and I also heard about a food buff, that if you use a food buff before midnight, then it resets, and then you also get extra points. Like there's a lot of weird things in the rankings.
Yeah, exactly.
I really think that needs a bit of a clean up, because it's actually fun to watch the rankings and also compare yourself to the others on the server. But now it doesn't make sense to look at it anymore.
No, this one is completely useless, because you also kind of keep track of like, okay, I think this one is bugged, I think that one is bugged, I think this one maybe not. Like that's kind of how you look at it, and like, oh, then I should be maybe this of that position. Yeah, it doesn't really work.
Because like now, if you look at the rankings, I don't know the guy, the rank 1 guy, Apollyon. I know he's a strong player.
He's 202.
I don't think his power compares to what that shows here is his true power.
No, I think he's around 202, 203.
Yeah, maybe something like this, but like he's a strong player. He should be up there in the rankings, but this power that you see here is not his true power.
Yeah, true. And then also he would get outpowered by all of the cleaves for just not having better gear, but for being a cleave and having the gear fitting to cleave. Yeah, totally makes sense to have them split by their own summoner.
Because then it also makes sense on stats base, right? Because Orbia just wants other stats than cleave.
Yeah, so totally.
I don't know exactly what they should do there. At least fix the bugs.
Yeah.
And maybe split up the classes.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
And then I actually have 3 small, nice to haves. Like one thing, like my OCD gets triggers from all the exclamation marks everywhere. Like
this and this and this.
Yeah, like if I like, for example, the perfect one is this arena event. I love it. It's a very nice event, right? You can put out a lot of wings, you get nice rewards from it. But I don't need to see it every single time. So if I opened my event page and there's an exclamation mark, it should disappear and it shouldn't stay there because I didn't collect something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for me personally, I kind of like it because it just gives you an idea of where everything is something to do. But if I'm not mistaken, this is the part that doesn't make sense. So I check the notifications, that's fine. I go in here, notifications are back again. Like, I've seen it, thank you. Like, do I actually have to click them away so I don't get them in my face every time? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, so that's also like if I don't collect it, if I open it and don't collect it, just when the day resets, bring it back or something, but don't leave it there.
Yeah, exactly.
Next point I had, and they actually removed that, and I really liked the one for the exploration. Just give me please back the resend exploration.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. The one that's, well, technically you can still kind of do it. Like before you could instant resend it. Now you have to click on the thing again and it will select the team that you selected before. But it's not an instant resend. I think the resend one was better as well because in hindsight I'm doing the same thing with more clicks right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
So I really missed the resend one.
Yeah.
It was nice to have.
Yeah, I think it was pretty chill as well.
And I think the last point I have actually is about like the skins and the closets, like because we get them on Orbia, right? But
Yep.
it would be nice if they would be shared.
Yeah, as far as I know, in Korea they're working on that. They are going to be accounts shared, so all of the summoners will have them. And I think especially towards the new summoner being released, they're gonna have to do a lot more things where they maybe say like, okay, you don't have to do all manual dungeons in story again, because that's going to withdraw a lot of people for saying like, okay, I don't want to switch to the new character.
Yeah.
And
I think in general it's more fun to be able to switch.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, definitely these are the things that hold you back. Like sure, gear will hold you back and that kind of stuff. I think you still have to farm for that. That makes sense. But yeah, if these like horizontal progression things at least would be all shared, would be very nice.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
So those were actually my points.
Okay, so that was a pretty good list. We had about 41 minutes of talk, so that's pretty long for a video. I will write timestamps for all of the things so you don't have to click through the whole thing. Actually mentioned it as the start of this video, but timestamps will definitely help to just look at the things you might be want to look at, and otherwise just watch the whole video. I appreciate that as well. So if you have no more stuff to say, we can wrap up the video.
Let's play Summoners War.
Let's play Summoners. I say Summoners, you say War. Cringe. That's what we always do during these events. Maybe for Chronicles you haven't seen these events or haven't been to the events yet, but yeah, that's the typical event stuff. Did you actually notice that they changed the icon for Chronicles and called the app Chronicles rather than Summoners War Chronicles?
Yeah.
That's something that is kind of transitioning as well. And I was like, okay, because I also keep putting like Summoners War Chronicles in the title every time, and it's like half of the characters that I can use for a title on YouTube. So yeah, it actually kind of makes sense to call this just Chronicles and then the other thing. I've been calling this Chronicles and the other thing Sky Arena because just naming Summoners War kind of gets like mixed up at the moment. But it makes sense to have Summoners War and Chronicles. This is Chronicles, the other one is Summoners War. So next time we go to an event, let's play Chronicles!
Summoners War!
Yep. Okay, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next one.
See ya.